Shalee Peters joining you now on the Rural Radio Network, and I'm coming to you today from just outside of Clay Center. We're at the Weed Management Field Day, and I've got Perminder here, and you are a first-year PhD student and just got done visiting here with the farmers that are out here talking about some of the research you've done. But first off, why don't you talk about some of the things you've done in your first year as a PhD student in regards to what you're doing out here today?
Yeah, sure. Hello, everyone. This is my first year in PhD, so I'm not I can say ready with all the projects, but I will be working on Palmer amaranth. So this is a very tough weed in Nebraska, not in Nebraska, all over United States. But the problem is in Nebraska we have confirmed Palmer amaranth that is resistant to HPPD group of herbicide as well as atrazine. So two mode of action herbicides. So that's a very big problem because we used to have glyphosate resistant weeds. So it's just one mode of action, but now we have two mode of action resistant weeds. So that's a problem. So I will be working on how to control that weed. And today I was talking about Enlist corn. So Enlist corn, it's from Dow AgroSciences. So they have come up with a very nice technology. So basically Enlist corn is resistant to 2,4-D and glyphosate. So we can apply 2,4-D glyphosate on this corn. But we can't apply normal 2,4-D. For that, they have made a new formulation of 2,4-D, that's 2,4-D choline, and they call it Enlist Duo herbicide. So it's a mixture of premix of 2,4-D choline and glyphosate. So we can apply this herbicide on corn as well as soybean. Normally on soybean we can't apply 2,4-D, but on this corn, Enlist corn, on corn we can apply up to certain stage, but on soybean we can't apply any 2,4-D. But on Enlist soybean now we can apply Enlist Duo herbicide, that is 2,4-D. So I think it's a very nice technology, and this way we can control the commonly observed glyphosate resistant weeds as well as this HPPD and atrazine resistant weeds. So if we can use it wisely, this technology is very good for farmer. And yep, that's it. Thank you.
All right. Well, and in this being your first year working out here and, this growing season just kind of getting started and rolling, what are the things you've seen so far with this particular product and its effectiveness?
Actually, this is not just my first year in the United States. This is my third year. I did my master from UNL. Mm-hmm. So these companies, they are coming up with the nice herbicide. So they are tank mixing herbicide, not tank mixing, they are pre-mixing herbicide, different mode of action herbicide. They are trying to educate farmer to not apply just one mode of action herbicide, because farmer used to apply glyphosate, back in the times, and now we have glyphosate resistant weeds all over United States. So now companies, they are pre-mixing different mode of action herbicide. So if we have 2,4-D and glyphosate in Enlist Duo, and if you have glyphosate resistant weed, so your 2,4-D can kill it. But again, we are not going to rely on just one herbicide. So even companies, they are promoting this. They are coming up with nice pre-herbicide. They have different mode of action, and they are post-herbicide. They have different mode of action. So this way, there will be very less chances to develop a new type of resistance if farmer will follow these instructions from companies. Okay, you need to use different mode of action herbicides, either as pre or as post. Just don't rely on just one herbicide. Now if we have so many nice products, we have Monsanto products, Dow products, Syngenta products, but again we can't apply you just take one product and apply all the years. You can't do it now because those times are gone. Just glyphosate. Now we can't do it. Yeah.
All right, and one more question for you here. What are you looking forward to most with this being your first year in PhD studies as you roll into the rest of your studies and your additional growing seasons with this technology and in this area?
Yeah, I will be working mostly on this resistant management issue. So like I said, like in my PhD, I will be doing this resistant Palmer amaranth. So we are also trying to find out what could be the better option to control this resistance issue. We should rely on a mechanical control, cultural control, like herbicide control as well. We should not only rely on chemical control. So I will be working on these aspects, like to include more practices to control these resistant weeds and try not to spread these weeds to other parts. Like it's happening like from one state to other, we are getting the pollens, resistant pollens or resistant seeds, and this way we are spreading the resistance. So yeah, if this palmer pigweed is very tough feed. Even if it's not resistant, it's tough. Now it's resistant to herbicide, so it's a very big problem. So so we're gonna, even next year we will be having this type of field day. Even at Shalee there's another site in Nebraska. It's only half an hour drive from here. So we will be showing those palmer HPPD and atrazine resistant palmer to farmers, and we are trying to educate, just don't rely on just one herbicide, just use different mode of action herbicide and try to kill all your resistant weed and don't develop any new resistance. Yeah.
All right, very good. Again, visiting here with PhD student Parminder, and he is out here talking to farmers, and I'm sure they really appreciate the work you guys do on all of this, because weeds are a problem, not just here in Nebraska, not certainly in Clay County, but anywhere where farmers are. And just visiting with us today at the Weed Management Field Day going on near Clay Center. For the Rural Radio Network, I'm Shalee Peters.